Today on r/today I effed up. Today I feffed up by outing our relationship to my boyfriend's daughter. We've been sort of seeing each other on and off for a while now, never really getting serious with it. He's quite a bit older than me, 26 and 44 tied. He has a teenage daughter, and it has sort of kept us from taking it further. Not that either of us mind really, I mean fun is fun. I think we both know that maybe it's not really the right moment for me or her to deal with each other, and that he needs to keep things separate too. But things have gotten to be a bit more serious either way. We really like each other, so things sort of just progress on its own. I spent a few nights there this weekend, had a really great time, just the two of us. And then I went home since she was coming back for the week. And of course, like a big dum-dum, I left my night bag in his bathroom. With makeup, lotion, toothbrush, and toothpaste, and of course birth control items. Yeah. Needless to say, he had to deal with that, had kind of a big fight with her, and told her about me. TLDR, I made a big mistake and sort of unwillingly forced my boyfriend-ish to tell his teenage daughter he's been seeing a girl old enough to be her sister, technically for a few months, without telling her anything. For our next story. Today I effed by accidentally revealing my student's paternity during a genetics lesson. I'm a student supplemental instructor at my university for genetics. My job basically revolves around reinforcing concepts already taught by the professor as an optional side course. Earlier this semester, while going over parental blood typing, I got to explaining how having AB blood type works as opposed to AO, half a type A, or AA, full A type A, in little genetics Punnett squares. I asked if anyone knew their parents' blood type to the class, and someone raised their hand and told me that his father is AB, and his mother is type A, and that he is NC type O, which is impossible. I went through the activity for some reason, and ended up having to explain to him that the only way this can happen is if his mother is AO and his father was type OAO or BO. He now didn't know if he's adopted or if his mom cheated on his dad. After the session, I walked over to the genetics professor's office and confirmed with her that this is impossible, and she said she'd be mortified to try to tell him the truth behind that, and hoped he was misremembering. Fast forward to today, a friend of his updated me and said that he confirmed the blood types, has kept it to himself, and figured out he wasn't adopted. I ruined how he sees his mother, and I kinda feel guilty about it. At least he did well on his exam. Let's dive into our next story. Today I effed by not telling my doctor how many Tic-Tacs I eat per day. So I'm absolutely effing obsessed with the fruit adventure flavor of Tic-Tacs. The flavor combined with the soft smush they make between your teeth when you chew them makes my brain very happy. I've been buying them in bulk, where each container has 200 candies each, and they come in bulk packs of 12 containers. I tend to eat them by the handful while I'm working or gaming, so in a day, I can easily slam through 1-2 containers. Now keep in mind that on the nutrition label, it says the serving size is 1 candy, and is listed as having 0 calories, which I thought was awesome because I could have as many as I want. Over the past year I found that I gained about 40 pounds and nothing about my eating habits had changed as far as I was aware. I told my doctor about it and she was a bit worried, so she had me do a bunch of blood work to see if there was a reason why I gained so much weight in a short period of time. Everything came back normal. She referred me to see a weight loss doctor who would also have me see a dietitian. I had been working with the dietitian for a few months now, and we have me keep a food log. I had a virtual visit with her today, and during it, I was fiddling around with an empty container to keep my hands busy. She saw it and asked where I got such a large container from, so I told her about it and how I eat 1-2 of those per day. She asked why those weren't on my food tracker, and I said it was because they're 0 calories so they wouldn't count. Apparently I was very wrong about this. She explained to me that food companies can label something as being 0 calories if the food's serving size contains 5 or less calories. In reality, each individual Tic-Tac actually has about 2 calories. So essentially, since each container has 200 pieces, and I typically have 1-2 of those, I've been eating 400-800 calories per day of Tic-Tacs, in addition to all the other food I've been eating, which is very likely why I've gained so much weight. Edit. Just wanted to clarify that I'm aware that sugar will in fact make you gain weight. I'm not that stupid, but I never actually read the product ingredients. I assumed they must have been made with something like xylitol or some other artificial sweetener to make them 0 calories, so it never crossed my mind to check. Edit 2. Dang, y'all are brutal LMAO. But at least some good came out of it, since apparently, like me, a lot of people didn't realize about the less than 5 calories per serving rule can legally be classified as 0 in the US. Personally, I wish we could have the model they do in other countries where they list calories per X amount of grams. Edit 3. My teeth are fine. I actually just had a dentist appointment 2 weeks ago. No cavities or decay, gums are healthy. Despite my candy habit, I do take good care of my teeth. On to the next story. Today I effed up by not understanding drag tests. This happened a couple of months ago, but my boyfriend still thinks it's funny, so maybe you will too. So I, 37 female, had an interview for a job I really wanted. I was tired of my low-paying job that wasn't going anywhere. I passed the interview and was offered the job, if I passed the drag test. I live in the Midwest USA, and my town has many dispensaries, so I figured there wouldn't be a test. It had been a week since I'd indulged, so I set up my appointment for a week from that day, and when I hung up the phone I said, "Fudge, my boyfriend, 42 male, said, 'Don't worry, we'll call my dad.'" "We do." He suggested a cleanse. Here comes the FU. They were sold out of the cleanse, boyfriend's dad suggested, so I chose another. When I tell you that I crapped out everything, I mean everything. Remember, I was still working my previous job. I'd take the cleanse in the morning, crap everything I'd eaten my entire life, and go to work. This went on for a full week. The day of the test comes. It's a mouth swab. Good news is I passed. For our next story. Today I effed by potentially fumbling a good date with a girl in Colombia. So I am 23, recently moved to Colombia for some time as I work in IT and can do my job remotely. My college roommate is from there and he told me to stop by. Things have been quite fun so far. I have not traveled much and experiencing a new culture is always exciting. The best part of my move has been that I met this attractive girl, female 24, who goes to my gym here. I did a yoga class once and we ended up talking and exchanging numbers. Been on 3 dates so far. The first 2 dates were fairly chill, just got some food and talked. However, for the third date she wanted me to go dancing with her and her friends. Now I have not gone out to bars or clubs much back home, so I did not know what to expect. I figured it would be some salsa joint. When we get there the club is more packed than I thought. She gives me a hug and drags me into the dance floor. I was a little nervous and I told her I don't know salsa, and laughed and said just follow me, and proceeded to turn around with her back to me, and she just started grinding. Like full on. I did not expect this, nor have I ever grinded with anyone before. Before you knew it I was rock hard, literally felt like I was going to effing come. I told her I have to go to the bathroom just to compose myself. After about 5 minutes I came back out and she took me to the dance floor again, more of the same this time. I told myself if she continues to dance like that I am going to bust in my pants, so I told her that I wasn't feeling too well, and that I have to go. She seemed a bit surprised but said, "Oh sure, don't worry." I don't know what happened to me in there, but I just panicked. Did I screw things up with her? Is going to a club and dancing like this a normal thing in a place like Colombia? Did I fumble this? Do you think she bought my excuse? I told my friend about this and he just started laughing, lol. Update. She texted back saying she is a bit busy on Sunday but can join her friends and her for lunch. Good sign? On to the next story. Today I effed up by accidentally showing my mother-in-law the weather in the local rainforest. You'll figure out where this is going right away, but last summer I discovered using the hidden folder in photos on my phone. My wife and I were on vacation last summer, and things got fun, and I wanted to take a mix of different types of pics of my wife, from her in beautiful scenery to the dirty, inappropriate, close-up private part pics. Was always nervous about saving those until I found the hidden photos folder. Perfect solution, but I wasn't sure exactly how it works. Fast forward a few weeks and I've been enjoying the hidden folder on occasion. I did that day and then went to dinner at night with my wife and mother-in-law. The topic of weather comes up and my mother-in-law asked if I could check the local weather on my phone since I always have it out, and I said sure. So I pick up the phone and then had this uncertain thought about what I was doing with my phone before going out, but I ignored it. My mother-in-law is looking at the phone as I unlock it. Here is what I didn't realize is if you lock the phone with hidden folder open and unlock your phone with Face ID, it will open right to the hidden folder. To show her the weather, and it opens to a very close-up pic of my wife's. In the mood, hairy private part. One of my faves, by the way. I really can't describe the feeling of panic, so I fumble way too long to close it, but at the same time thinking why the F is my mother-in-law looking at the pic. Yep, the look she gave was one of shock, and I immediately wanted to make a joke out of embarrassment, but maybe it's because of how long I've known her, and we do get along well. She said deadpan, "I'm still waiting for the weather." In her tone I knew she knew I was embarrassed, and that shit happens, so let's move on. Was never brought up again, and the worst part is my wife missed the scene as she was busy chatting. Our last story for today. Today I effed up by being a bad girlfriend. I've been with my boyfriend for almost a year now and have been living together for 3 months. I work a salon and make just under 30,000, whereas he makes almost 150,000 at his job. Unsurprisingly, since we've been living together, he's covered all of our living expenses, which is a blessing. 3 days ago, he came home and told me that he lost his job, and I straight up panicked, and first thing I asked him was how are we going to live? He didn't say anything, he looked super defeated and just went in and take shower afterwards. He went for a walk and still didn't say anything to me. I figured he must have been panicking as well and didn't know what to say or how to deal with the situation. We've barely talked since then. I went home last night and my dad could tell that something was wrong, so he asked me and I told him that he lost his job and his first response was, "That's alright, he's the smartest kid I know. He'll find a job that pays him double." I then told my dad everything and he said, "All your man needed was for you to reassure him and hug him, but instead you only thought of your livelihood and showed no concerns for him or that difficulty of being jobless." I brought it up to him this morning and he said, he doesn't care about the job, he can have another job by next week if he wants to, and has enough savings to maintain our current lifestyle for over a year, but told me that he was very demoralized and hurt by what my priorities were in the situation. I feel like such a whole and unsupportive girlfriend. I don't know how to make it up to him. Update: we talked things out. Make plans for the future. We'll be fine. We've made up. He's got a couple of interviews lined up after posting his unemployment on LinkedIn. He wants to take a little time away from everything to decompress, and we're taking a trip tomorrow going near the Ozarks to spend the weekend and enjoy each other. And those are all the stories we have for today. See you tomorrow.